And I also listened to a couple of lectures like in the last few weeks where actually it's in Surah Alaq, where he mentions this is tafsir, the human becomes um, less wary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because when they start to feel self-sufficient. So the bigger they get in terms of, oh, I just landed this new job, oh, I just graduated, I got this new degree, they feel less dependent on Allah. But the funny thing is, like, we're all taking shelter under a spider's web. In the sense, we're all vulnerable.
Yeah.
But we forget that.
Right.
And the people who lose everything are the only ones who actually get to be reminded of that every day when they wake up and they're like, oh, I have nothing to hold on to. I am really under the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I think the reason why we kind of are jealous of that, is because we don't know how it feels to be that reliant on Allah until that's all we have. Yeah. And I had a really weird moment in the last maybe 3-4 years where I was addicted to being at rock bottom. Because for two reasons. One, you can't hurt me anymore. Like I'm down here. Like I'm down bad. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I can be hurt more.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you laughing right now. That was perfect timing. That's insane. But like,
because when you speak,
yeah,
or anyone, honestly, and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but my imagination, I just start to actually.
What do you think? I'm in a well?
No, I start to picture these things like rock bottom, and then thinking like someone falling and like joining you, and like how excited you'd be.
That's so weird.
These crazy thoughts just come into my head of just
just any thought of ever trying to go down the counseling route for you. Just steer clear because you're not the guy, you know. But I was like I like man, like I've had nights where like stand up wasn't going good. I've had nights where I'm at odds with my parents. You know, I'm having problems. I lost my job at one point. You know, it was all bad. It's crazy. It's crazy. Why are you laughing right now?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, it was all bad, right? And
we can laugh at it because that was in the past. Now, you know.
Yeah, but I don't mind. I can laugh at it. I don't think you're allowed to laugh at it. Yeah, that's insane. But okay. The point is, I felt like I was like, oh, like like when you're free falling, you're like scared.
Yeah.
But then finally, like if something catches you, like
the relief,
the relief of just being like, okay, this is as bad as it gets. Okay, it's time to like make a house here, like because I'm good, you know.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why did you feel like it couldn't get worse than that?
It could have definitely gotten worse.
Okay.
But I guess I was hoping it wouldn't. I guess it could have got worse in the sense of like, because I mean, I was challenged from a lot of places: money, family, wealth, health. I was in a wheelchair at one point. I got so severely.
When was this? Was it in Qatar?
No. I mean, that definitely. But I've been in a wheelchair a few times.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like to the point, like very temporarily, like maybe a couple of days or so, where I physically couldn't walk. I'd had to be held up. You know, like my body got to that point where it was just so weak. SubhanAllah, like I was like bed rest for some time. I was like, it can't get worse than this. Like, but of course it could have.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could have lost my mind. I could have actually lost my parents instead of just being at odds with them. I could have lost my parents. You know. I could have lost all ability to work as opposed to just losing that one job.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there was so much more, but I guess my mind could only handle that, and I felt I was at my worst.
Right. But the reason I asked that question is, anyone listening or watching, if you're really at that rock bottom right now, I want you to understand that with all of that being said, and I don't know what you're going through, that, and I'm just going to be just straight frank, it could be worse.